Hey guys, Steven here, aka the Boiler Master, with another IQST update for you. We got a PR today that was extremely bullish, but as usual, I think there's probably some things I see from this information that some of you guys may not, so I'm going to share my notes. Just a reminder though, I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy that likes coffee, DD, and sharing his personal opinions. So let's go ahead and cover the PR. This one is March 21st, 2024. It says IQST announces record-breaking revenue and gross margin, reaching 46 million year-to-date revenue before the end of Q1. IQSTEL today announced the company's year-to-date revenue through March 17th surpassed 46 million based on preliminary accounting. 46 million is a new record high quarterly revenue with 2 weeks still left to go in the quarter. Q1 2024 will be the third straight consecutive revenue record-breaking quarter in a row. At the same time, the year-to-date gross margin has already exceeded the gross margin for the entire fourth quarter of fiscal year 2023. IQSTEL previously announced that Q4 gross margin was a record high, exceeding the previous record set in Q3. Even with 2 weeks still left in Q1, the company's gross margin record has been broken yet again now for a third consecutive quarter. Year-to-date revenue and gross margin did not include any benefit from QXTEL acquisition agreement announced on January 22nd, 2024, and it does not reflect any contribution from the pro forma financial statement published in conjunction with the QXTEL acquisition on February 8th, 2024. IQSTEL management confirms April 1st as the target date for closing the acquisition. IQSTEL CEO Leandro Iglesias said, "We have been consistently breaking one record after another, quarter after quarter since Q3 last year. This is an important milestone for IQSTEL because we announced profitability in Q3. We are very optimistic this trend will continue for Q2 and beyond, enhanced further by the pending acquisition closing of QXTEL." So they gave us two big things there: new revenue numbers and some information about gross margins. Looking at revenue first, they said 46 million year to date through March 17th with 2 weeks left in March. So obviously Q1 is January, February, and March. So let's put those numbers down for each month. They told us in a PR that January alone did 17 million. Then they told us after February the year-to-date revenue was 33 million. So February must have done 16 million. That's a little less than January, but February is a short month, so it's hard to get a lot of things invoiced in February. But 46 million year to date, knowing they had been at 33, puts the first half of March at 13 million. That's pretty damn impressive, 13 million for just the first half of March. But what will that put Q1 on track for? Well, the bullish case would be to say the second half of March will just be as strong as the first half was. So another 13 million would be 26 million. That would put Q1 at 59 million for the quarter. But if we want to go a little more conservative with it, maybe even a bit bearish to give more of a range than a prediction, we could say that, February, even though it was a short month, only did 16 million. So half a month at that rate would be 8 million more instead of another 13 in March. But even that would put Q1 at 54 million per quarter. That's the bearish case now, guys. 54 million and 59 million on the high end. Now, I'm going to go on the conservative side and say I think they'll do at least 55 million, which would now put them on track for 220 million this year before any additional growth. Now let's talk about QXTEL. They're still on track to close April 1st. So that's the first day of Q2. They should be contributing the entire quarter for Q2. And the Super 8K filing showed us they have consistently over $80 million in revenue every year. So they'll be adding over 20 million a quarter and at least 60 million this year. So IQST is on track for 220 million, and QXTEL should add at least another 60 million, putting them on track for a bare minimum of $280 million now before any additional growth. Now, I told you guys back in January, my projection was 300 million minimum for 2024, and basically every other week they're giving us updates showing they're continuing to improve the financials and they're going to make it happen. 300 million is going to be a very, very low end for them this year. Now, they talked about gross profits. Let's look at that. They told us Q1 increased over Q4 and that Q4 increased more over Q3. They keep breaking records every single quarter. So we don't know what Q4's actual, all of its performance was yet. That'll be in the 10K annual filing, which will come around April 15th. So last filing we have to look at was Q3. If we look at that, we can see Q3 gross profit was just over 1 million. And that was for Q3 alone, not the whole year. They did a million gross profit in Q3. So they've told us several times that Q4 had even better margins in Q3 and higher gross profit than Q3. So Q4 was somewhere over a million. We know that. And now we know that Q1's even higher. So definitely well over a million. We don't know how high it is yet, but over a million something to go on. Now, if we look at QXTEL, since that's supposed to close April 1st, the Super 8K showed us their gross profit was about 3.9 million. So QXTEL is doing around a million gross profit for quarter two, and they're also profitable as well. So knowing QXTEL should add about 1 million towards Q2 and going forward, and IQST is doing well over a million per quarter, it's pretty safe to assume they're going to be doing at least a bare minimum of 2 million gross profit going forward from here out, and that would mean a bare minimum of 8 million gross profit a year. Now, I'd love to project out what the actual net income will be, but we just don't have enough details for that yet. We got to wait on the filings. We never get the net income when they give preliminary numbers. We'll just have to wait and find out when we see the 10K filing next month, and then Q1 posted the month after that. So what we do know is that IQST had a positive net income in Q3, and margins are also improving, and we know that QXTEL has consistently been shown over a million net income every year. So it's fair to say they'll definitely be profitable going forward, and I would expect it should be in the millions. So that's what I got from this PR, guys. 46 million year to date tells me that they did 13 million for the first half of March alone, and we should see Q1 somewhere around 54 to 59 million, which would be well over 100% year over year growth, because Q1 last year only did 24.7 million. We also know the gross margins continue to improve quarter over quarter, and we know QXTEL acquisition is still on track to close April 1st. All this puts them on track for over 300 million revenue this year and profitable. So 2024 is going to be an exciting year, guys, and I cannot wait to start seeing the audited filings roll in. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to talk more about the company, I'm in several of the message boards, and a lot of us are on the company's ambassador group on Facebook. If you guys want to join us, you're welcome. Hope you enjoyed the video.